Let's talk about the reduced work permit validity period in light of recent news in December 2025 for immigrants. And the purpose that USCIS or immigration said that they want to reduce the validity periods for these work permits is to increase the vetting procedure for applicants. And so that's something to be aware of, that it applies for initial work permit applicant and renewal work permit applicant. And it's for specific categories. It doesn't apply to all work permit applicants. And people need to renew their work permits more frequently. And so all it means is basically you have to renew your work permit more frequently now. Before, the max validity period was for 5 years for most of these work permits. Now it's going to be reduced to 18 months. And as for who this applies to, it applies to people like asylum or asylum applicants. And there's a whole list of people that this applies to. And as for effective date, this is for applicants who filed their work permit applications on or after July 22nd, 2025. So those are important things to note. And you also want to be aware of some tips for these renewals, especially in light of the reduced validity period. One is to file early. So you want to file your EAD, your work permit renewal, around 4 to 6 months before your work permit expires, and be aware of your expiration date on your work permit. Another tip is to make sure you fill out the correct eligibility category. So for example, if you're an asylee, that is you obtain asylum, you would be A5. So check carefully if you're filling out the correct category. And then verify the fees, because fees have changed drastically this year in 2025, and the fees will likely increase again next year. So be aware of the correct fee before you mail out your work permit application. And also include evidence to support your work permit application, like a copy of your current work permit and 2 passport style photos and a copy of you obtaining asylum. And so those are things that you should consider when you file your work permit application. And contact us if you'd like to submit a work permit application.